Alrighty guys, we just left the second job of the day. It's about 11 o'clock and started at around 9. So the two jobs I did this morning were pretty quick and easy. So my neighbor 2 doors down is moving out. Him and his wife have been clearing out their house, and so they just had some junk on the side yard, so we loaded that. Heaviest thing in that video, or in that load rather, is the treadmill, which I got first, and just used a little piano dolly, and then he helped me to load it. The rest of it was just like some table and chairs and miscellaneous, like an old desk that he'd broken down, a couple little items. So put that in the trailer, then we put the trailer back at the house where I store it, and then we went to another lady who's moving, and I actually used to sell real estate with her at the Gulfster Real Estate Group. Super nice lady. She is actually in her late 70s, and she's got a little over an acre in Fair Oaks, and she's going to be selling their house. Her husband sadly passed away earlier this year, and so she's got a lot to go through. They've lived there for 30 years, and I gave her just kind of a rundown of how I do junk removal. She's going to use me at some point, and then I just kind of did a basic cleanup for her. She asked if I knew anybody that could clean her gutters, and I said, well, I've cleaned my own gutters several times, so I said I can do it. So she's like, well, that'd be great. You know, they're building up. I got all these trees that overhang. So today we just got up there, blew it off, kind of raked off the roof, shoveled off a lot of the debris that's been building up over the years, and then I'm going to come back probably another time and prune these trees. You'll see that overhanging on the front of the house, there's several trees, so we're going to prune that back probably next weekend, and then clear off the rest of the roof. We just blew out the valleys, and then we shoveled off the debris, blew off the flat roof lines, that's a laminate, and then also just hand cleaned out the gutters with a little gutter cleaning like shovel thing that I got at Home Depot, well, that I've had for a long time. So that's what I use to clean my own gutters. So we got that cleaned up for her. She's got a showing this afternoon, and like I said, she'll have a lot to go through when they do finally sell that house. They've got a garage and an ADU in the back, and it is full of stuff. And the house, you know, had a lot of furniture, but she's already secured another house that she's bought for herself, so she'll be moving there. But I imagine we'll probably have at least 2 to 3 full trailer loads, if not more, when we do the junk removal job down the road. So I'll, you know, just kind of overlay the footage, and you'll see me, you know, cleaning off. Well, I guess you'll see me first doing the junk removal job with my neighbors. Charged $120 for him. Took all of literally 13 minutes from the time I pulled up to the time I left, and then we will still need to go to the dump. I expect those dump fees to be about 25 bucks. So I get a little bit of money for gas in there, and we'll call it, you know, an hour and 20 minutes of work. Probably have about $80 to $90 of profit. So I'll hit my low target of 60 bucks an hour most likely. Again, this guy's been a really nice neighbor over the years, so kind of gave him a good deal. I probably should have charged him 150 or something more, but it is what it is. And then the next, we charged that lady 150 bucks to clean off her roof line. And again, that took me, by the time I showed up at 9:30, leaving at 11, took me an hour and a half. So, you know, no cost of like dump fees or anything like that, other than just a little bit of gas to get there. So making probably about 80 bucks an hour once we call the travel fee, or, you know, travel time as well, and gas. So anyways, a couple of little jobs, you know, not a lot of money obviously today, making 270 bucks revenue, but for just 2 hours of work, 2.5 hours, ain't too bad. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this job for my client is that, you know, I was going to go over there anyways to quote her on junk removal, and I wanted to get a visual on what kind of stuff she had and what kind of equipment it would take, how large it was, what the access looked like, because I'd never been over to her house before. And so when she asked if I knew anybody who could clean the gutters and roof out, I said, well, I got to come out there anyways to give you a quote, and so I might as well do it myself. And she goes, well, that would just be wonderful. I don't have anybody that can do it, and you know, she said my gardener's too busy, and he doesn't really want to do it anyways. So I said, no problem, I can take care of it. I did ask her, do you have a single story house? Because I'm really not wanting to get up on a ladder that's real tall or get up on a 2-story house. And she said, no, it is just a ranch style house. So I said, okay, well, I can do that then. That's, as long as it's not, 12, 15, 20 feet off the ground, which it wasn't. It was a pretty low roof, and the pitch of the sloped part was very gradual. So I did feel comfortable walking on it. Now, one thing is, when you get a clay tile roof like this is, you have to be very careful where you step. And so you want to step evenly, and you don't want to put too much pressure on any part of one of the tiles. So you just want to be careful, walk slowly, because these tiles can crack. And when I was up there, the whole roof felt very solid. She hadn't mentioned that there was any damage, but I was very careful not to cause any damage as well. So same thing where I'm scraping it here with my shovel. I'm honestly not pitching down and scraping right on the laminate. I have the shovel angled up about 1/2 inch, so that way I'm not scraping any part of the roof. I don't want to get any of those roofing nails that are holding this laminate or the paper down. I don't want to, destroy her roof in the process of trying to help the drainage situation, and that would just be, cause more damage than maybe I'm helping. So I was just very careful to be careful on her roof, and I think that's one of the reasons why she said, yeah, that'd be great if you can do it, because she knows she can trust me, and that I'm gonna, take good care of her property and not cause any damage and do more harm than good. So basically here, there's a couple different levels of the roof, and what I'm doing is just scraping out all of those years of debris and sticks and dirt and ash, and we ash because we have wildfires occasionally, unfortunately, up here in California. But all that stuff, it just accumulates. And so what I done is blown all of it off of the shingles into this area, and now I'm just scraping it and kind of getting it by hand around the edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and just shovel it off. Now, off to the side of her house, it's just a bunch of leaves anyways, and that area will eventually clean up probably when we come back and prune the trees. So you can see these are also trees that are just growing up over the roof line. So I'll bring some various tools, some hedge trimmers, some clips, and just kind of some basic pruning equipment that I can get those stuff. That way it's not overhanging on the house, and then we can really clean the front half of the roof, which these branches were preventing me from really accessing the front of the roof because they were just in the way. There was another 10, 15 feet of roof line up there that I just couldn't get to because of the branches. But anyhow, we're cleaning the best we can, and we're blowing all these leaves out. That way, when it does rain, the water can drain appropriately into the gutter system. And then here, we're cleaning also the gutters out as well. And then on the back of the house, towards the end of the video, you'll see I also got up on a step ladder and just used my gutter cleaning little shovel tool from Home Depot and clean those out by hand. So now on this part of the video, you'll see me climb on this face of the roof, and I'm getting over here and just blowing the rest of those leaves off. That way, when it does rain, the water can properly drain off the shingles down into the gutter system, and it doesn't hold any water up there on that part of the roof. But again, these are some of the branches I'm going to be trimming. The whole property was a little bit overgrown. Apparently, her husband used to get up there and do that, but towards the later part of his life, he wasn't getting on the roof, which was probably for the best. And so, they just kind of had let it go a little bit as far as the maintenance goes. And you'll find that with properties that are owned by people, elderly people anyhow, they typically have some deferred maintenance and they just need help doing things. And it's not that anything that is super technical or challenging to do, but probably they're tasks that they shouldn't be doing themselves. And so again, in the case of this customer, she just has a few items that I can help her with. Junk removal is going to be one of them, but cleaning up the yard and just getting this property ready to sell is another. And when I started this business, I thought about, well, what services do I want to do? I wasn't exactly sure. And so that's why I called it Reese Hauling and Cleanup. So that way it left it open that I could do other jobs besides just junk removal. I could do hauling. I could do a little bit of moving if I needed to. I could do cleanup of the yard. I could do cleanup of an attic, cleanup of whatever, a roof, a gutter. If it was a job that I felt comfortable and had the skills and equipment to do, I wanted to leave the name of the business open such that it suggested I may do the type of work. And so when you're thinking about starting a business, you want to think about the name and think about what it is that you're providing your customers and have it describe that if possible. So thanks for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one.